All right. Welcome, everybody, to Dire Roll Lost Horizon. The bot is dead. Long live the bot. We didn't have session last week because I didn't get a lot of sleep. And this week I'm sick, but I was going to cancel twice in a row. So, we're here. I'll repeat this at the end, but because it's my stream, I'm going to say it at the beginning too. Next week, Saturday, Extra Life, November 7th. Me and Elenia, and the boys at Worthy Platoon, and any of these other people, if they join us, will be streaming 24 hours, raising money for children's hospitals around the United States. Actually, I think it's just the United States because I know we have some European people that might have some European hospitals as well.
I think they have some European hospitals they're set up with.
Well, there you go. We're bi-continental. We Worthy Platooners. So if you'd like to come and hang out and donate, that'd be great. We got a big list of games. I'll be changing the offline screen to the schedule once I have the final version, because the version we have is not final. And yeah, we'll be starting bright and early Saturday morning, and the first thing we're going to be doing Saturday morning is Dire Roll Rejects 2. The sequel to Dire Roll Rejects, which we did last year.
Electric Boogaloo.
With slightly different cast. And a surprise. That's all I'm going to say. And it's the first thing in the morning, so I have to get up at like 7, which I guess isn't that weird for me. But I'm going live at 8 a.m. CST. Yeah, because we got Europeans this time playing in Rejects, so we're doing it first thing. So if you'd like to see me deal with Worthy Platoon playing D&D again, oh boy.
And trust me, him dealing with Worthy Platoon is twice as much fun as him playing D&D at all.
Oh, I was part of the first Dire Rolls Rejects, and I can tell you, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
So you're saying that Dire Roll Rejects is the way you get on the show? Yeah.
Yeah, because Elenia was in Rejects too.
Wait. I was already a permanent cast member by the time that happened.
Yeah, by that time.
Elenia
But
wasn't, though.
Elenia.
Yeah, that was her hazing.
My hazing. I've dealt with way worse role players in that group, which is sad.
Oh.
Just as a little spoiler for the Dire Roll audience, one of the characters we have is named Cluster Hands Kevin. If that doesn't give you any idea of what kind of session it's going to be.
Love that.
Yep. Not only are we going to be playing D&D, we're also got like 6 hours of Arma. We got a few Among Us. Me and my friend Gextroll are going to play some Gunfire Reborn. And honestly, I don't remember, but other stuff too, I'm sure. Oh, actually, we got Bridge Crew going on. I gotta talk to you, Vegas. Because Elenia and I are going to be playing. We're playing Bridge Crew, so.
I'm already in.
I think I'm going to be playing some Minecraft with Gextroll at some point, assuming we can figure out the server stuff.
All you had to say was Bridge Crew, and my brain immediately said, I captain, firing all weapons at allied ship.
So it's going to be a blast, and yeah, I'd love to see people who watch Dire Roll attend and hang out. You don't have to donate, but if you do, that's awesome. But if you just want to hang out, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to, and of course, the last hour we'll be playing. We usually play Insurgency, but this year we're playing Halo, and we're all going to get drunk, so it's going to be bad. Yep. All right, that's out of the way.
Drunk Halo's best Halo.
I mean, yeah. I mean, no, but yeah. All right, that's out of the way. If my voice sounds a little off, it's because I've been dealing with a sore throat, and then I spent all day playing Among Us and Squadrons, so I didn't exactly nurse it. So last session. When did we start? Oh yeah, you guys were in prison. You guys were I knew where we were. I just don't remember what started last session. You guys were.
It's been a long. It's
been 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys were being held prisoner by Hypoist's uncle on their family ship to Sanguilina Alpha, which was a police escort ship. And then they kicked their escape plan into action, which consisted of Elise having hidden one of her side blades somewhere.
I didn't use it though. Well, no, I did. I did at the end, but it
That's true.
actually
Razik
kicked off because Hypoist.
Yeah, Hypoist and Razik actually managed to start the breakout. There was a firefight.
A win for the boys.
A win for the boys. And then in the middle of their hijacking, what was it? In the middle of their hijacking, the ship got hijacked.
We just finished hijacking.
Yeah.
And the ship got hijacked.
So an incredibly large cargo vessel that has been converted into a kind of scary capital ship.
Dreadnought?
Well, this ship called the Brigand, being run by a group called the Common Revolution, hijacked your ship immediately after you hijacked it from your uncle. There was a moment of tensions, and then Hypost and Irene were like, Common Revolution, I think we can get along with them. So they decided to surrender willingly, and they had a conversation with the leader, who's definitely has a name. Oh yeah, Sadat Zadar. A Zodcore man. Oh, and hey, look, I updated your level 6. I remembered.
Woo.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I did my basic job. So they met with Sadat Zadar, who informed them that the Common Revolution was planning a very large attack on the summit at Haku, the system that you guys are in, where all the major powers are coming to have a little powwow, especially given the recent events at the Kippy, which you guys, did. Whoa, it's an ESO. Haven't seen you in a while, bud. Welcome back. Any deviation from my train of thought derails it. That's gonna be tonight. That's what it's gonna be.
That's why I was trying to handle Twitch chat for you.
Well, I was excited. ESO. He was like my first viewer. He's back. He remembers me. Yeah, you guys decided to team up, but there was a small wrinkle in the relationship. Because we learned something that we learned two things. First, we learned that Razik does in fact have a surname.
Yes.
Yeah, what's that about? Razik's like Beyonce. There's no other name. Razik, Beyonce, same person.
And the other revelation was that
Honestly,
that surname was shared by his spouse.
Surprise, I got a family.
And his wife is not only his wife, but she is a senator in the Crest League. And she is representing the Crest League at the summit. And although it has not been expressly said, it was assumed that the Common Revolution was planning to take her out with the rest of them. And obviously the crew, though they're sympathetic to the Common Revolution's cause, perhaps even willing to fight alongside them, kind of don't want Razik's wife to kick the bucket.
And I'd like to point out that I appreciate that. Kind of want to keep my wife alive if possible.
And then some small...
We'll see how receptive she is to
some small...
propaganda.
You guys are the worst. I mentioned I hate your characters. Some small details, since it's been 2 weeks for the audience, myself, and the players. Hypo's uncle survived the hijacking and is currently in the Brigand. He's in the medical bay. Also, the Involuker has also been commandeered by the Common Revolution. And You guys were able to get your personal effects, including the TID PP, although it's currently disassembled. And Razik spotted what appeared. It appears that the Solis crew from the Fairstar oligarchy that were working for Hypost family, they were at least one of them was executed during the taking of the Involucre, and that someone stole a few painkillers from Razik's medical bay on the Involucre. I think that was where we left off. You guys were like having dinner, and that was the end of the session.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Oh, and the summit is supposed to go down sometime within the end of the week. And you guys are just kind of waiting for that to happen. I should have mentioned this in the pregame, but since it's been 2 weeks, we were all just kind of, catching up. I have added in y'all's journal the Haku system, which I'll go ahead and throw up for the audience as well, if you guys can squint. I know I'm streaming 720. No, actually, I'm streaming 1080 now. So mayhaps if you have a good enough internet, you can actually read along. Otherwise, you guys can just, those are definitely words that Jaken wrote, which is good enough for me, honestly. So the main planet of Haku is Jurio, sorry. It is the trade hub of the Fire Expanse because it is smack dab in the middle of all the hyperlands. However, the planet itself is overrun by Mad Max style despots, and the majority of the population live in 3 locations: on the moon of Thraru, and 2 gargantuan space stations. One is Krasnova and the other one is Vosnofor. And these space stations are built into large chunks of what was once a 4th moon. Jurio once had a 4th moon, but for some reason in the past, it broke apart. And 2 of these orbiting chunks of the moon have been converted into space stations. And that's like the cliff notes. There's also the back to refueling station. I don't know if you guys can actually see that. We can barely see it on this stream because I chop off the bottom. The back to refueling station is kind of like a crazy Thuj won the Teradavan, which is the main city on the moon, the Teradavan All lottery, and he used his winnings to buy a fueling station at the edge of the system to get away from all the politics and corporate greed. And he's well known for being eccentric and paranoid. So
I love him already.
So that's the Haku system.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Yes, this ESO, I have ascended to having Google Fiber. It's amazing.
Oh man, they just added fiber to our neighborhood.
Nice. Get it.
So
Trust me, it's
how
worth
do
it.
you say that? What was the planet's name again?
Jurio. Jurio. It's like Jurio.
Jurio?
Yeah, the emphasis. Yeah, the emphasis is on Rio, so it's Jurio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if it was Jurio, we could just march around.
I don't want to know what you were going with that. It's such a bad joke that you couldn't even finish it.
We could. It's a very niche joke, but we could march around at a period of times and then blow a horn, and the whole thing would collapse. It was kind of where I was going with that.
That's Jericho. I understand that reference. I'm a pastor's son.
I mean, I know, but it was
Weird flex, but okay.
similar. And that explains the planet.
Also, it's a great song by Cell Dweller.
No. Okay.
Also, one of the greatest wrestlers in the history of sports entertainment.
Now we're talking.
It was a interesting TV show, to say the least.
There you go.
Nuts. And if you know the show Jericho, you get that reference.
So anyway, this
now that we've blown 20 minutes.
The summit is happening.
Eventually, yeah.
At some point in the near future.
And based on the general idea, not if we can stop it.
Well, okay.
Well, okay, so as I recall, oh, what is his name?
Sadat?
Sadat Zadar?
Sadat Sadar.
Yeah, Sadat. So Sadat, his philosophy and his plan of action isn't too far off from where we as a crew are kind of found our niche as well. He's working a little bit more higher level, higher scale,
Large scale, yeah.
large scale than
Because
we are.
for some reason he's been getting funding and support.
So we don't necessarily want to stop his plans, but at the same time, we don't.
Should we
we
remind
don't
the audience of
want-
what his plans are specifically?
So he wants
Okay.
to sabotage the summit, specifically with an attack to draw the disparate sides of the current political conflict into an ill-advised, earlier than they had anticipated war.
Yeah.
So that when war breaks out, the common revolution can then use that as a staging grounds for further recruitment drives,
Mhm.
to build up support to essentially disempower the powers that be, and spread the power out among the citizenry of the Fire Expanse.
Now,
Well said.
Thank you.
I was a little bit. I still had some questions. I think, and we had in character kind of discussed this, but the Common Revolution does not at this time have a plan for situations where leadership on the ground is opened up because of war efforts to kind of like fill the power vacuum, right? Like
That's right. Right
they
now,
have established local leadership.
right now, their plan is just kick off the war, and then they're gonna go to phase 2, and they have not. If they have a phase 2, they have not been forthright with it.
Right, and we discussed, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, we discussed offering our various expertise, or areas of expertise and services, specifically, as an example, HypoEst leading some leadership seminars to help fill in that kind of gap in the rank and file of the Common Revolution.
Weapons development.
Weapons development from Irene, Razik offering to consult on setting up medical facilities to see to the needs of the downtrodden during this upcoming potential war, etc., etc. And it was all. Sadat was very hum-ho about it. He was very vague in his enthusiasm or lack thereof. Of course, we also have a reputation of,
Mucking
just
shit up.
fucking up everything that we put our fingers into.
No, we don't. It's
Well,
just that people are paying more attention
well,
to what we
because-
do. Other
no,
people make mistakes.
So the reason we have that reputation is because the powers that be are obviously trying to poison the well against our noble and
Yeah.
so far successful cause.
Mm-hmm. We've technically we've technically done everything we've set out to do.
Yeah, thus far, I don't think we've had any okay, no, I'm going to stop there.
No, I mean, we did do what we intended to do there, though. There was just some extra stuff that happened.
Well, there was some collateral damage, as you would probably put
Yeah,
it.
collateral.
Some severe collateral damage.
At that
That's why I said
level
in
of
chat, we're
damage,
doing
I don't think
CIA
it
shit.
qualifies as collateral anymore. I think that qualifies as that was the primary damage, and our goal was collateral to that.
When basketball players drop the ball, they give the opposing team a point. when you guys drop the ball, you wipe an entire planet off of the solar system.
The planet was already going.
It's kind of the same. Let's just move on.
It was inevitable. We just pushed it a little.
So you've gone from anarchists to accelerationists? That tracks. Okay. So I think at this point you guys are breaking off, and I keep peeking. Go away, microphone. Yeah, you guys are gonna kind of go off, and we're gonna open with a small montage of how you guys are integrating yourselves with the Common Revolution. We see Irene, who is trying to upgrade some of the firepower, which is already unnecessary. And we also see that Irene is spending a lot of time with Sadat Zadar. And we see Razik taking care of High Post Uncle. And Razik, you know, let me go ahead and assume that Razik is probably a little more wary of his company than perhaps High Post and Irene. So
Definitely.
He's given the side eye and.
Well, also to him, there is like, although Sadat said that the painkillers was for reselling, given his own stereotypes that he knows, he believes that this crew possibly has some drug addicts and whatnot, and he's very wary of that because drug addicts with guns are dangerous. So that's one of his big worries on this ship, especially.
Okay. So the two of you, Irene and Razik, would be the obvious. Like, we've already pre-established what you're doing. But I'm not quite sure what Elise and Hypost are doing. And since Hypost is AFK, Elise...
Sudden spotlight.
At least he's probably not integrating with the crew, to be honest.
She's being rather aloof.
Yeah. She's like hiding in her room and not coming out because she's like, no. Just no.
And I feel like it's safe to assume that Hypost would be interacting with the the middle management types and networking and desperately trying to divulge his ideology onto the Common Revolution in some form of conversion through just talking a lot. That sounds like Hypost.
Possibly some either dancing session or something along those lines.
Razik, you're going to open us off with a awareness check with a +2 step.
All right.
And while you do that, Caddy, we said that Hypost was talking with the middle management types and trying to, convert people to his ideology.
I mean, yeah.
Feel free to
maybe.
amend.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like he's a little bit at a loss of like what to do in general. So he's kind of just like, can I be helpful? No, someone else is in charge of that. Okay, can I be helpful?
I feel like during the montage, of seeing you guys acclimating, at one point we see Hypost with Wheel sat down. Wheel, you remember the Lindbergh?
Yeah.
And then like revealing the chore wheel and being like,
yeah, like teaching Wheel to understand, holding his members of the team accountable for like everyday things so that we don't establish kind of a blame system.
all right, with your stellar success, Razik. At this point, we're gonna fast forward 2 days. So if anyone wants to do some healing, let's just assume any resilience check get a +3. We're just gonna chalk it up to Razik being a level 6 badass. That way we save time.
Perfect.
Well, light wounds and grazes just heal on their own anyways, right?
Yes.
Grazes go away after combat. Light wound go away after the end of the day. But any moderate wounds, you get 2 chances to clear them. 1 more day, and we can deal with serious. Razik, you noticed in 2 days.
You said a +3?
+3.
Yes,
yeah.
+3.
Because we're just assuming Razik knocked it out of the park. Razik,
Flat
It-
roll.
It's a good assumption. Rizik is just that good of a doctor. Yes, Jacob.
you forgot your +3 step.
No, I have a -3 because I am severely injured.
Okay, rip. Well, you get two attempts to
F.
clear moderate
Yeah.
wounds here. Okay, you. Jesus. Okay, that's not great.
F twice.
um, so Razik, you notice that of the crew of the Sanguilin Alpha,
Yes.
it appears that the only one around is your patient.
Yes.
Which,
It is not. It is not an unexpected situation
right.
based on what he's seen.
Well, now you have a stellar roll confirmation that it seems that those the crew members, the non-combatants that you had not killed, nowhere to be seen or found or heard.
Yep. Well, that would be something that I would bring up to the crew, definitely.
Well, do that
Because they
because I have to
deserve
go
to
get another drink. I need bubblies for my throat. I'll be
Perfect.
right back.
So, Razik, during one of those times where, we're in our quarters, probably just goofing around, waiting for time to pass before we have to go to sleep and whatnot, would simply gather the crew into the little... I think we have some kind of, living room type deal? Common room? Either way, would take the crew aside and simply say, so, I've been in the medical ward for quite a while now, a few days, and also been traveling along the ship whenever free time allows. And the only person left alive from the crew of your uncle, up west, is your uncle. I haven't seen trace of any prisoners outside of that. And given that I had previously identified that one crew at least, maybe more, had been executed on the Involucre, it would be a reasonable assumption that everyone else has been executed outside of your uncle so far. Given that it seems we're trying to have a good relationship with these folks here, I will not be the one bringing it up to the captain, Sadat, but it
Yeah,
might be something to keep in mind.
I certainly don't like the way that smells, Um, it is. You would think that a movement such as this would understand the importance of not punishing the common worker. These might not have been working class folk, but they were just trying to survive in a system that required them to do their jobs to survive or support their families. We cannot fault them for that. It's
Yeah,
no
but at
way
the
to.
same time, you don't overthrow the omelet without breaking a few eggs.
I mean, those engineers weren't necessarily the omelet. I trust that the Common Revolution has not become so large or successful by just destroying anyone who didn't get it right away. Because how do you develop members that way? So really, we can get to the bottom of this. We can talk to Zadar about maybe where my uncle's crewmen might have been. Maybe they were relocated. Maybe they were just sent home. Maybe they've joined up in different teams.
My main worry is that, despite their goal somewhat aligning with our crew's goal, I'm starting to feel like this common resistance is more akin to the same group that
We are trying to
refuse.
fight.
Yeah, that we're trying to fight, and that their ideals, once the governments are out of the way, will not be as altruistic as they make it seem. Because put it this way, if they got rid of the crew of your uncle because they were no longer useful, what will they do to a population that they deem is not useful?
I agree, Rizik. But we
Well,
you know, I'm just
here's
saying
the
we
issue.
can't jump to a conclusion.
Well, I'm worried that by sparking a war between the Seljuki Empire and what's the other faction called? I forgot.
The
Sphere
sphere
mandate.
mandate.
Sphere Mandate. That he just wants to create a power vacuum that he wants to fill.
I mean, we can say that, but we had discussed pretty much the exact same tactic whenever we were held prisoner of bringing the two of them together to fight it out. And also whenever we were running from the Citadel class ship.
Yeah, I
However,
don't.
that last part, though, even though we did mention them coming to fight, their goal was not for them to fight one another in that second instance. It was for them to see the Citadel ship and realize, hold up, we gotta, link up together and deal with that problem first. But for the first instance, you are correct.
I just do mean that we're assuming a lot about their intentions, about Zudar's intentions in these moves that someone could have assumed about our intentions that were
Yes.
untrue. So there is a risk, obviously. We are concerned, and I am listening to your concern. Your feelings are incredibly appropriate, and those are valid feelings to have. But we can take a step back and not
They?
not jump too quickly to any conclusions. It is worrisome, maybe, to not see those familiar faces that we had promised we would not harm, that I had told, I'm not going to injure you. Of course, but they might be okay, and we just cannot immediately jump to assuming that Zadar and his people here are untrustworthy or unseemly without really giving them a chance.
All right. I mean, I'm open to discuss it with Captain Sadat and see what he has to say as to the whereabouts of the missing crew. But I also had another concern as well that I would like to bring to our little group here. So, with the meeting, the summit that's going to happen, I truly appreciate that you guys are going to work with me in trying to avoid a nefarious fate for my wife, if it can be avoided. I think that to the same point that we cannot jump to conclusions, we cannot put all the dignitaries in the same basket in believing that they work to keep the power that are in place. My wife, for example, is a senator and a representative of the Crest League. I do not believe that her intent are to make the citizenry suffer through the power of government. I believe that she does it under the belief that what she does helps the common folks. And I don't think that the attack of Sadat on the summit is a good thing for the people that might be able to be swayed instead of just outright being removed. I'm sure that there are some dignitaries out there that are, well, a lot of them that are probably there just for the power, the money, and so on and so forth. But I'm fairly certain that, unlike my wife, there's a few that are doing it for the good of the common folk, even if they're not taking the proper way.
I mean, I understand that yes, you know your wife, and we obviously have all agreed that we're going to do what we can to prevent any harm coming to your wife. But anyone in that kind of position of power, good intentions or not, is the problem. And you don't fix the problem by coddling it and asking it if it would be okay if maybe they changed what they were doing, because good intentions or not, they're not going to. They
Oh.
are the problem, and they need to be dealt with. And there is only one effective way of dealing with that, and that's, we've all seen political shifts, and we've all seen changes in regimes, and it always fucks the common person. The only way we fix this is by excising the problem. And if that means they all have to die, then they all have to die.
We also need to consider, we have agreed that these governing systems are harmful to the common person, like Irene said. We all know that any kind of I am overseeing you, I make decisions for you, it's ultimately harmful to the people because it appeals to megalomaniacs and psychopaths who just want power, which is why we hold these beliefs we have, right? And so it's, even if there are good people in the kind of like bureaucratic system, like Razik's wife potentially. I haven't met her. I can't say for certain, but I trust Razik to know his wife. And so there might be good people in that system, but ultimately the system is still harmful. We do need to remember that the Common Revolution still wants to have that system.
If
And
I may,
oh, go
I've
ahead.
seen the Sadrasi Empire slaughter innocents, and by starting a war, I feel like we'd just be leading more people to slaughter, no differently than when we killed everyone on y'all. And
The Seldrosi
maybe
Empire
there's
is
a
also
way,
going to slaughter people anyway.
but maybe there's a way we can take down the man without instigating a war, is what I think Razik's trying to get at here.
Yes, I believe that nobody needs to die. The system needs to go down, but all lives matter. Otherwise,
I mean,
we become
the Saldrin kind of.
feelings aside, emotions aside. I've got my whole life turned upside down because of a bureaucracy. I still don't wish death on those people. The idea that we get to choose that because they are in power in a structural democracy or republic or whatever types of government they have, that we have the power to choose that they deserve to die so that the system can change, just means that we're as bad as them.
We didn't make that choice. They made that choice when they took that power from the people. They made the decision. We are merely carrying out their execution.
Okay. Oh, wow. This is okay. Let us all take a step back. Remember to analyze our feelings here. This conversation is not about who does or does not deserve to die, because I
We all know
believe
who that is.
I believe everyone makes their own decisions, so I am not deciding for anyone. All I was saying is we as a group need to just really rein it in and return to our core beliefs, return to what is ultimately good about what inspires us, because I feel we really have become frayed from our true selves. We need to return to that core, gaze into that beautiful ideal, and whisper to it, nurture it, whisper to it and ask it, what is it we want for the common person? And the answer is freedom and autonomy in a beautiful world where they are not being threatened by these oppressive regimes or being held down by a structure that requires their life force and labor. So we have to get together and go, this is our ideal. This is our little nest egg, right? We have to protect that egg. And while we can argue all about the method being used by the Common Revolution, I don't think we share the ultimate same goals. I'm not going to try and control these people. I'm going to support them. I'm going to try and nurture the same little egg in each of them as much as I can. I can't control them. We can protect who we need to protect. We can try to, change their minds. But arguing back and forth about the possibility of a war, we cannot control whether or not there is a war. We cannot control that the members of the Seldrosi Empire who are convinced of their own, core ideology, whether that be through propaganda or the kind of raising in their system, or for the sphere mandate, and their prey on the weak, and that all is out of my control and it is out of your control. We can only govern the self. We have come together as a community and as a family here to discuss ideas. So I want us to try and really lower our vitriol, discuss our feelings and expectations. Let's try to use I language and not accusatory language, and let's just run it again.
Irene's gonna storm out, slam the door.
Camp Counselor Hypois strikes again.
It was so good.
Yep.
Like as a player, I'm like, oh, I have to stay for this. But Irene is like, no, she's storming out and huffing and puffing and slamming the door.
It
Where
looks like
are you guys
Irene
having
is
this
not-
meeting? Just for the record.
Sorry?
Where are you guys having this
the-
powwow?
We
One
have
of your
like
quarters?
chambers,
Yeah,
correct?
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Carry on.
Irene is not up to having a dialogue right now. And I really appreciate that she was willing to take a step back and isolate herself to her feelings and not lash out at us in any kind of hurtful way. It was a very mature decision on her part, and we are all going to recognize that. She removed herself from the situation and did not lash out and is taking some time to sort her own feelings. Does anyone else have anything they would like to address? This is a safe environment.
Hippos,
Well,
I just want to come out and say it.
much.
Yes. I just want to come out and say, I'm not going to start a war. If you're going to, I will stand back and let you, but I'm not going to instigate a war.
Uh,
I saw
We're
the
not
subject
starting.
slaughter my friends, and I'm not going to do this.
I mean, they nearly slaughtered me. I'm not fond of it either. I'm not starting a war. I'm saying I can't control these guys. I don't know if you have noticed, but as much as I am here to support and uplift you guys, to lead alongside you, I do not have the kind of sway y'all have here.
Where the fuck did that popcorn come from? Hold up. Did you just have that at the ready?
Not
I thought they were
popcorn,
chips.
tortilla chips.
Oh man,
Those-
she's like, oh my god. It's fucking.
Like,
I'm sorry. Continue.
I pues.
Yes.
My only worry is that when we were faced throughout our adventure against people that had the same sort of power For example, what was the name of the pirates that we screwed over for that derelict ship deal?
What, the Reaper Syndicate?
Yes, the Reaper Syndicate. We went behind their back and essentially tried to undo their plans. When we got onto the derelict and there was this other dude with his drone, we went behind his back and undid his plan. When we took the contract for the corporation, we went behind their back and tried to undo their plans. I don't hold it against us that we failed, but at least we tried. But here I feel like the discourse has changed. The discourse is now currently is we can't control them. We kind of need to let them do what they have to do. And I'm like, how is that different? If we disagree with the plan of action that they have, shouldn't we be working in shifting it? Maybe not go against them if we don't want to. On that, I'm fine, but shift the idea of like, let's not kill potentially innocent people, whether they're innocent or not. Let's not get into this. Let's just decide that we cannot be judge, jury, and executioner in this matter.
Oh, certainly. And I don't think Irene is ready to have a conversation about that. And so really the purpose of this conversation was to just establish that there were some fears and trepidations on our side. I don't think it is a kind of planning meeting. We can add it to the talking list. I will actually right now. One second. Potential alternative plan.
I picture this being on a whiteboard in the Involucre, but since we don't have the Involucre, she's got like a notebook.
Yeah. I really appreciate you bringing past examples of our behavior to the table. I really that that allows me to consider the egg, correct? I don't disagree with you. I worry that my immediate kind of the thing my mind jumps to as a solution, I know is not a good solution, which is let's warn them so they don't get hurt. We know this is a bad idea because these people will punish just whoever they can find if they do not know who is attacking. And if it's the common revolution, because of the name, they might just lash out at their own citizens. So it's going to require a lot of tact. If you can be on the ground really talking to people and thinking about a good solution to this that would help prevent the kind of casualties we fear, then I am fully condoning that. Obviously you do what you feel is right and what you need to do. I do not want to be anyone's executioner. It is not my place to deem them guilty or non-guilty either. But we're going to have to see what we can do. We're going to have some discussions. I'll update the talking list. Maybe we should return to the spirit stick. I know we had ruled it out in previous meetings. I know, but when the energy is as hostile as it was today, the spirit stick is really helpful.
Sorry. I was like, gotta mute. There's no time.
I feel like Tripost also have a snap cup.
Oh man. So yes. I'm going to be thinking about it. I'm talking to people. I'm trying to kind of establish a network around the ship to really get a read on the general kind of working person's attitude here at the Common Revolution in regards to this potential war. Ultimately, I have doubts that anything smaller than a war will ever really wipe out the kinds of regimes that the Sphere Mandate and the Saldrosi Empire represent. But I don't want the Common Revolution to become one of those regimes. I just made a joke in my own head that was really funny, but doesn't fit the settings. So anyway,
Because that's usually where we set the bar.
I mean, I was just thinking that the Common Revolution is going to change into the USSR acronym eventually, but that's very much their vibe. But we're gonna Razik, I want you to know I believe in you and we will think of a solution. I believe in you and we will think of a solution.
Very well.
Where did Irene go?
Probably back down to engineering or weapons bay to make the big gun even bigger.
Okay.
She needed to focus on something that she's good at and no one can argue with her about.
Okay. As Irene is working, the door opens and she turns and she sees Sadar there. And he's carrying a tablet, and he looks up and he says, "Oh, Irene, thought you were done for the day."
I wasn't comfortable with a couple of the calculations I had earlier on range finding and energy output, and I wanted to run a couple of simulations just to make sure that it was gonna be up to snuff.
Well, I really appreciate everything you were doing for us. Even getting the brigand more battle ready than I had originally hoped.
Yeah, that's what I said I would do.
Okay, is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's just fucking peachy.
All right.
Quick curiosity.
Hmm?
Did you execute the crew of the Sanguine Alpha?
The crew? No.
It was an appropriately vague answer, thank you.
I
She'll
said
turn around and get back to work.
no is vague.
Whatever, I'm fine.
We offloaded them. Is that
Yeah.
more specific?
Where?
To Baku.
Well, you might want to have some words with the rest of my crew about it because they're not overly happy with the fact that they can't find them anywhere. I told them to fucking buck up and deal with it, but they're sensitive.
I want to show you something. And he turns and starts walking out.
Fine, what?
Okay. He leads you through the ship to a different level, and then you find yourself in one of the corridors to the cargo containers, which most of them have been outfitted. And there's this one you've never seen, and there's a guard posted out. He nods to the guard, and they open the door, and he gestures you inside. And you come inside to a dimly lit room, and standing in the middle of this cargo bay, you recognize instantly as a very, very large bomb. You seem to be having difficulties with the vagaries of our operations here, and I thought perhaps as an olive branch I'd show you this baby. He puts the pad down on a workbench. This thing is the thing that's going to seal the deal. It's chemically activated.
Oh, okay.
There's really no way to disarm it once it's armed.
What kind of payload are we talking?
Oh, nothing too fancy. We're not trying to wage war. We're just trying to kill some dignitaries. But it should take out 50 meters radius. No, not radius. Sorry, diameter. 25 meter radius.
What kind of fallout?
Oh, this is an implosion bomb. There won't be much left.
Oh.
No evidence either.
And you want me to work on it?
Oh no, it's ready to go. I just wanted to share it with you.
I mean, this should do the trick.
I don't think
Just
so.
take out most of, if not all of, a meeting hall.
The trick is going to be getting into position.
What's your plan there?
Well, we got a couple things. Quite a few contingency plans. We're trying to smuggle it in. That's probably going to be the hardest objective. See, the thing is, we don't actually know where the summit's going to take place. The location is being kept secret. Which is why we're monitoring incoming traffic. To see where the big ships go.
Right.
The absolute fallback plan is we have a breaching pod that's outfitted just about the right size for this baby. We're literally going to slam it right into the room and then boom.
What kind of planetary defenses are we looking at? Like, is it going to make it past any sort of defense guns?
Well, once we know where we're going, we'll figure that out.
It's fair.
Our running theory
It's
is
a good plan.
Thank you. The major powers have been planning this summit for months. We don't think it's going to be anywhere that we think. We're wondering if there might be a remote space station somewhere in the system, well hidden and well guarded. We have insiders that should help sort it out once the time arrives.
Good. I'm just trying to figure out any way I can help with this now that you've shared it with me.
Well, I'd appreciate any help you could offer. Your expertise in weapons, could help us deliver this payload a little bit more subtly.
Yeah, that's... Can I sleep on it?
Absolutely. You have time, as far as I know.
Fair. Yeah, I'll brainstorm some ideas and get back to you.
And as for your crewmates and their concerns, I'm always available if they want to hammer down some. Yeah, get some details.
Yeah, I'll let them know. Like I said, they're sensitive. We've been hurt before as a crew, so they're less trusting than. Well, no, they're not less trusting than I am. In fact, I'm probably the least trusting, if we're gonna be honest. But they also can't see through the bullshit like I can.
Right.
And I know I understand what you're doing, and I'm here for it. They're still hesitant to ante all the way in.
Well, there's a lot of people in this galaxy that I'm keen to hurt. But you are not among them, that's for sure.
Well, and at least speaking for myself, the feeling is mutual. Yeah, I'll sleep on this. I'll see if I can come up with any ideas to deliver this for you. And I'll let them know to untie their undergarments and either get with the program or come talk to you.
Sounds good. And once again, thank you, Irene. We appreciate everything you've been doing.
Thank you. It's nice to be appreciated. Oh, that hurts me to say. Yeah, and she'll.
That's how Irene feels.
I know, and it's like, yeah. Irene will take off and make her way back to her quarters because there really wasn't anything important she was doing on the big guns. She was just slamming her wrench against things.
Man, that's where I was gonna check for.
With the big guns?
Yeah. That's what she does when she's mad.
Yep. Yeah, she's gonna go
I
back.
was in for a surprise then. Oh, like, wait, who calmed her down? I'm Hypoest.
Does Hypoest want to go, find
But I'm
Irene?
baby.
Oh, yeah, he was gonna do that after the conversation with Razik, but all of what Irene just did would have been occurring like when
Okay.
Razik was talking.
Let's say you guys run into each other as you're headed back to your quarters. Because you guys, adjoined, boys, girls room. So you two run across each other in the hallway.
Oh, okay. Hey, Irene. I expected you to be tinkering with the guns. How are those coming along?
Well, I mean, spectacularly as expected.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't I guess it wasn't a question of whether or not they'd be great, but it was a question of what extra stuff you were going to add on.
Honestly, I'm comfortable with where they're at this point. There's not much more I can do. I've got some other projects in mind at the moment, and I'm probably just gonna lay down and,
Like marinate on them?
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna sleep on it. Oh,
I shouldn't say this out here, actually.
do you want to come in?
Only if you'll have me. If you're not gonna go immediately kind of like to bed, I don't want to invade on your creative process.
No, that's fine. Come in. Whatever you need to say, you could say it, and then I can go ahead and do my thing.
Yeah, I was yeah, I'll come.
All right. Do you need anything to drink?
No, it's okay. I
All right.
appreciate it though. Thank you very much. I was just gonna ask if some of that work and research we had been doing allowed you to make any headway on the TID PP. On like the kind of like translocating part. I know that had really been kind of the catch there.
Yeah, I made a whole lot of headway with that down in the facility on y'all.
Yeah?
And
Is
now it's all gone.
Yeah. Oh, that must be so frustrating. Do you want to talk to me about how that feels, or is it something you need to leave alone right now?
I appreciate what you're doing. And I appreciate where you're coming from. But on this one, leave it the fuck alone.
Yeah, totally. You create your boundaries. You do not need to feel guilty about those. You don't have to justify that to me.
I don't, and I'm not.
Good. Yeah, I had just, I'd wondered about it. Normally, I know I'm not helpful in these sessions, but I do tend to be kind of a sounding board whenever you've got new ideas flowing about kind of working out issues in projects. So you hadn't really been speaking about that particular device in a while. And so I wasn't sure if you were just kind of letting it sit there for you to come back to and address with a fresh mind, or if you were just kind of like self-sounding boarding. That's not
Well, it's new situation, new dynamic. I don't know if the whole sounding board thing is something that I'm going to be doing much of going forward.
okay. Just trying to find, if it didn't work before, trying to find a new process.
Yeah,
How
no, and again,
exciting for your creative process.
Yeah, that's it's it's evolving. Everything evolves. Our processes, our outlooks, our relationships. It's just evolving.
Of course. I'm fond of change. This is good for you, I hope.
Okay. as long-winded as I post is, we're gonna cut away. That night, Razik,
Mm-hmm.
you have a really rough time sleeping. Every time your head hits the pillow, you have one or two dreams. You either dream of your wife in her fairest form, or you are reliving the moments that ended your career. And finally, in the dead of night cycle, you just kind of slam awake, and you're just thinking about that Saldrin on the table, and you're mulling it over, and you happen to remember that when they wheeled in that Saldrosi diplomat, they had mentioned an implosion bomb.
Interesting how that works, eh?
Yeah. And the injuries of the Saldrin under your knife were untreatable because a significant swath of the Saldrin was at the end of the implosion, which meant like basically a slice of it just got ripped away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Given that this is an all-time event-ish, and we are in the Aku system, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be far-fetched if Razik went on essentially any computer and just looked back at the events of what happened that specific day. See if there's any mentions of implosion bomb. Just
like
to
on the Brigand.
Yeah, on the Brigand.
Okay.
Do we have access in our room to like computers?
Sure. Give me a computer check with a +2 step.
Okay. And by the way, Razik is not looking specifically for implosion bomb because right now Razik doesn't know the link
Actually,
between...
give me a +3 step.
Okay. Razik is just looking like what happened on that date. Like he's going back to that date and just looking at news report essentially.
Okay.
With a +3 step computer, I need computer. I need a 14. I got a 21. A 21 would be a excellent.
Okay, you find an archive of Crest League news, and with that, you're able to sift through. And then it hasn't been that long, maybe 6-7 months ago. Between 6 months and a year.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, you find quite a bit. It was the biggest thing covered in the Crest League at the time.
Obviously.
There's mention of of several implosion devices detonating at a peace summit between the Crest League and the Saldrosi Empire. The fallout was that the Saldrosi started to point fingers at the Sphere Mandate, and the Crest League did an independent investigation into the incident and determined that it was done by a terrorist cell hoping to destabilize the Crest League and return full autonomy to the unified systems of the Crest League.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this investigation, they were able to calm the Saldrosia, bring them back from the brink of declaring war on the Sphere Mandate.
Very well. Again, since Razik does not have the information that Irene has right now, Razik will then spend...
Funny how that works, right?
Yeah. Razik will just spend the next hour or so until essentially he actually managed to kind of lull himself back to sleep. He's going to do what any doctor in this case would do, is how to treat implosion wounds.
Okay.
Essentially, like refreshing his memory, like what could have went wrong? What did I do wrong? How could I have saved him? Yes, he believes strongly that he could have saved him.
Make a medicine check with your expert +1 and surgery plus. You're supposed to have a surgery proficiency +2.
Yes. I don't need to check. That's a stellar.
Okay. confidence. Yeah. So you fully on the material available. You engross yourself in implosion wounds.
Yep.
You feel like you've gained some insight since you failed to heal that Saladin all those months ago.
And pretty much like since there's nothing else, like he wouldn't storm out because he doesn't know the link of what he just discovered yet.
Right.
So he's just gonna read about it until he feels his eyes going heavy again, and probably try to go back to sleep. Hopefully that stops at least the nightmare from happening, because now he knows how to treat it, so it can't happen again.
And perhaps due to the lack of sleep, Razik's troubled mind, he feels right before he goes to sleep, he feels like he could see the Saldrin sitting down next to him on a chair. That dead Saldrin that he failed to save. Just something in his subconscious. It's like the Saldrin's there with him. And then he manages to find some rest.
I don't know if a ghost sat next to me, I wouldn't be able to sleep, but that's fine.
Well, Razik, again, this is like kind of like
I know.
Razik's foggy, delirious, sleep-deprived mind.
Yeah. He's imagining it. Yes.
Yeah, and it gives him some sense of comfort. Well, half the cast members appear to be AFK, and I'm done with you now. So,
Well, I mean, if Irene had mentioned anything, we would have had like a full-blown scene right here. But
right.
It's just like, man, I can't sleep. Yeah, that happened. Oh my god, yeah, it was implosion bombs.
It's a strangely specific weapon. All right, I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah. At least now I know how to deal with that if it happens again in the future. Which it won't. Int.
Okay. So the next day, you guys resume your previous, activities. And I'm trying really hard to find a way to cut to y'all because I really gotta pee. But I'm pretty sure the next thing is gonna be me. So I'm gonna go pee and make it quick.
There's a small discussion that Razik would like to have with Irene, but Irene's not here.
Son of a bitch. Right, there he
Irene's
is.
back.
Irene's back. Discuss.
Perfect. So the next day, assuming Irene is approachable at this point,
100%.
Razik is gonna, and that's were you there with Jakin and Razik? What happened with Razik?
No, that's where I had to step AFK.
Okay, so quick recap. Razik had trouble sleeping because he kept seeing his wife, worrying about his wife, and so on and so forth. But also, he kept replaying the scene about the Saldrin that he lost on the operating table, which his wound was due to an implosion device. So Razik, trying to get back to sleep, looked back into the events of that day and realized that there was a lot of implosion bombs set up during the Crest League Peace Summit to try and frame the Saldrosian Empire, the Sphere Mandate, cause a war, destabilize the Crest League, blah, blah, blah. And then Razik looked into how to heal wounds done by implosion explosives, because to him, so far, there's no link with anything. It's just, bad dreams coming back. So, given the climate of everything that's happening, Razik's going to approach Irene and he's going to say, Irene,
yes.
you are a weapon specialist for... Was it the Saldrosian Empire or the Sphere Mandate? The Sphere Mandate.
Sphere Mandate.
On the day that I lost my license, that I lost my career, not my license. I lost my career.
I was going to say, all know you still have your license.
I still have my license. I lost my
career. Of course, doctor.
The Saldrosi that came into the operating table had been wounded by implosion bombs. And it was unclear regarding who caused what to happen. There was accusatory toward the Saldrosian Empire, accusatory toward the Sphere Mandate, internal terrorist cells.
Mid-sentence.
Yes.
The comms key up, and the voice of Captain Zadar breaks Razik's train of thought and says, "Crew of the Invoker, report to the forward observation area."
Jakin, real quick.
Rain check?
Because there've been some discussions on me hiding my side blades,
Uh-huh.
Can we say that while I'm wearing the exoskeleton, I have a special place in the armor where I can hide them?
Sure.
Okay. Just because at this point they are hidden. And she's not going to reveal them.
Cool. So the four of you head over to the observation lounge? Okay.
Yes.
Last time you were here was just a single census technician and Sadat Zadar, but this time there appears to be quite a few members of the Common Revolution hustling and bustling, and the large holographic projector in the center of the very large lounge is showing what looks like some flight telemetry. And without really looking at you, but as you guys approach, Sadat goes, "Good, you guys are here. Dr. Gorazan, you mind confirming something for me?" And he turns away from the holographic table and heads over to a large, wall of computer panels.
Yep.
We are under the belief that a Vanguard security section from each of the major players will arrive ahead of the delegates, to make sure everything's secure. And we think we just picked up these ships. And he throws up 3 small crafts. They look like each one is slightly bigger than the Involuker. And Razik, even though you're not a military man, you've seen these ships, in your, traveling with your wife and whatnot.
Yep.
These are specifically commando ships from the Crest League, specifically Azrician Shrike Commandos, which is a special type of Azrician warrior that uses their patagium to its fullest advantage. And these Shrike Commandos are often security detail for Crest League dignitaries. And these ships match their kind of, fast-moving transports. He's like, "We think these are belonging to the Crest League. Can you confirm that?"
Yes, they do belong to Crest League.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got confirmation. We can expect the delegates to arrive within the next 24 hours. So,
What makes you so sure that they are the ships that you're looking for?
well, official military Crest League vessels approaching a Haku summit site on an unknown trajectory, bypassing known travel lanes. Seems like they're going somewhere specific.
All right, I'm no military expert. I was just curious because I'm sure they crossed this path quite a bit. But yeah, what you just said made sense to me.
Of course, Doctor, and don't worry about it. We're on the same team. There's no secrets here. So, the 4 of you, I am very excited to get you guys to get put to work. I'm wondering if you guys have thought these past few days on how best you could aid the revolution. And while he's saying this, everyone around him is just scrambling to do their last minute, terrorism.
Last minute terrorism.
Their last minute political involvement.
There you go. They're motivated.
Yeah. Well, when there aren't open polling stations, they made themselves heard.
Loudly.
Yeah, you'll be able to hear it for, well, actually, quite a few people will never hear anything again, but everyone else will hear it from far way off. Yeah, I'm still very heavily injured, so I know that my involvement is going to be limited.
Actually, you said it was
Hypo
the
says
next
as
day.
he leans on his crutch.
I'm just, yeah, I'm just
You said it was the next day, so that would be the 3rd day. I think IPOS can roll for a serious and a
Well, at the end of
moderate.
this day.
Oh, at the end, okay.
Yeah, we came in at the evening of day 2, so.
I tried.
Good looking out. Good looking out. Yeah.
It would still be a flat roll.
Razik is gonna say to Sadat, in the immediate need of the plan, which I'm still unsure exactly what's gonna unfold or where we're gonna be during all that's happening. The only thing I can provide so far is that I will heal any wounded, and I do mean any wounded.
Of course, Doctor. We wouldn't expect any less of you.
Well, and I mean, obviously, you're aware of where my efforts are going at the moment.
And I'd like to pick your brain about that at a later time. Captain Hypoist, you look like you're still, well, worse for wear,
On
I'm
the mend,
afraid.
on the mend, yes. I will do what I can wherever you need me. Just know that I'm not gonna be in my best shape.
Well, I would love to see you in your prime. But next time. He winks. Elise? Have you
This guy on the
considered
HypoX train.
have you considered putting your talents to use for our cause?
Given Captain Hypoist's state, I think it's best if I stay by Captain's side, just in case something happens.
That is some rare loyalty. And
Lucy cares about me.
It's also at least he's waved out directly helping.
Yeah.
Very well. Doctor, I'm sure you want to take inventory, and Irene, if I could take you, we can go do our final preparations.
Absolutely happy to.
Excellent. And Hypoist, I'm sure you could lend some expertise once everything starts going down. If you could report here, we're going to turn this into a sort of a war room to monitor the situation as it unfolds. And of course, you can have your faithful protector alongside you.
Cool.
I just remembered that,
At least he's glaring at everybody. Absolutely everyone.
Well, I just remembered that Elise's a dog woman, so I wanted to be like, who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? You're a good girl.
She would have absolutely thrown a viral.
No. Jakin wanted to do that. No, yeah.
There would have been a viral chocolate in the throat.
Then that would have been totally justified. No one, not even his crew. Like, no, he asked for it. No, all right. Yeah. So, Sadat takes
Yeah,
Irene,
opened that door.
and they're gonna go check on the bomb. And Razik, you're gonna head over to the medical lab or medical bay.
Yes.
Okay. Hypost and Elisa, you guys are gonna stay here, or are you gonna reconvene somewhere else?
It seemed to me that it was expected that we would stay here. So I think that's still going to be the plan.
Okay.
My dog is barking at me.
All right, can both of you give me awareness checks, and then Irene, you want to make an engineering check to see if you can improve upon the bomb's design?
So the thought process there, actually, in delivery, was to maybe help shield its propulsion signature,
Okay.
so that it's not as easily detectable.
Give me an engineering propulsion.
Okay, engineering +1 propulsion.
I suppose you needed
+1.
a -1 to succeed.
I need I think a 15, maybe a 14.
That's going to be a stellar +10.
All right.
Jagan.
I just real quick. The delivery system, the breaching thing, has a micro ion drive, and you manage to tweak it so that it basically registers like a thruster.
Okay, so similar to a system bound small craft.
Yep.
Okay.
And you were saying, Elise?
When I do my psychic abilities, unless I physically do something, there's no way of telling I'm doing it, right?
Correct. Also, everyone get a hero point.
Okay, cool. Because I wanted to psychic history of the room. See if I get any ideas of what's happening here.
What specifically?
The table is a view table, right?
The holographic table?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to do it on that?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Trying to remember all my pluses. I think it's just the +1 from being it being my specialty. Damn it.
Hero point or fail?
I'll just leave it fail.
Okay. There isn't.
Who
Go.
who else is in this kind of room? I know people were kind of darting around and milling about, as it were. Milling is a little more inactive
Let's
than
say
I mean, but
let's say Wheels here as kind of like
yeah,
commander on station.
okay.
Just because we know who Wheel is.
Yeah, I was going to kind of not read the room exactly, but get my bearings on the kind of the personalities that would be present in the control area. So if
Okay.
it's just Wheel, then I've easily
Give me an
got
empathy
an
check.
understanding of
With a
that
plus
one.
1 step because you've been hanging out with Wheel for a while.
Okay. Empathy. I'm gonna double check my numbers.
I'm muted on stream, but you guys got to experience the full volley.
So just -1. That's an 8.
Yeah. But you're 6th level, so
I didn't really put it in empathy.
alright. You don't
I
gotta get
never
read on the
used it.
room. Unless you spend a hero
Yeah.
point.
No.
Okay.
That's a fail, so.
I can feel you guys are banking those rightfully for the future.
Yeah, I mean, well, it just is like reading the room at the start of the mission doesn't feel like an especially
Mission
heroic
critical?
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Razik, I'm just gonna go ahead and say with the tools and your expertise, I'm not even gonna make you roll. You can make some knockout gas. You know, to kind of put on a mask, put them to sleep.
And what does some
I still
entail?
have 2 grenades. Just so you all know.
Love that for you.
Let's say you got like a couple tanks,
So, from my medical expertise, if those tanks were to suddenly find themselves in the hair of the entire ship, the bandit, would people feel woozy or would people take a well-deserved nap?
Parts per million, they probably feel a little giddy. If you spread it across the entire ship, it actually may not even notice. Because the Brigand is a big fucking ship.
But if I were to put it all in one room,
yeah, they might experience drowsiness, loss of concentration. A small room, then yeah, they would knock out. Like a closet, you can knock them straight out. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not a whole lot. But I'll keep that in my back pocket for now. We still got a few hours. Doctors is just taking inventories. There's no nefarious plan that he hasn't discussed with the crew.
Stay with Grandma.
I don't want to.
I need you to, because last Sunday... What?
I don't want to.
Isn't he? He's precious.
He just said it like, no.
I don't want to. This is...
Okay.
How do you like them apples, Dad? Yeah.
It's very good at conveying his wants and needs.
Both my kids are good communicators. Unfortunately, the 2-year-old doesn't have much to say, other than, I want it, give it to me,
yeah.
I want it. Why aren't you giving it to me?
I'm trying to think of how to do this discreetly without Wheel kind of catching on. I'm going to, I'll just turn to Elise and say, well, how far away are we from the kind of are we currently driving towards the destination?
You actually don't know where you are. You just know you're in the Haku system. You haven't been able to see like navigational charts or positional data.
Okay. Then never ignoring that. Then I'm just gonna try and strike up a conversation with Wheel. I want to be asking him. I don't know necessarily if you want to do that all in character, but really, I'm just trying to kind of steer the conversation towards oh, where are we going? What's the next step in the plan, Chief?
Okay. Give me a influence check. I know those are hard for you.
Yeah, I think
Any sort of
just-
situational modifiers based on previous interactions with Wheel?
No, because she's trying to get extra information out of him that isn't normal. She's trying to coerce it, you know.
even if it's kind of like in this backdoor chatty way, yeah.
Right,
Hey,
right.
guess what? Hey, guess what?
Is that an excellent?
That's an excellent.
Ah!
It's not even exciting at this point. It's like obviously.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what do you want to know exactly?
Really, just are we currently heading to the place we are planning to bomb?
No.
Okay.
They're waiting for the dignitaries to arrive. This is the first ship they caught. They're tracking it as best as they can without revealing their position. But they're basically, casting
We're
a
tracking
wide.
a dignitary ship.
Yeah, they're checking to make sure all the dignitaries are arrived before they, blow people up.
And which dignitary ship is that?
Well, they're tracking the Isrishan commandos. So
The Isrishan one. Nice.
So that's Crest League.
Yeah. No, I'm aware. Cool. That is all I needed to know. I guess now it's just trying to whisper to Elise like, hey, could you look on that ship? Would you be able to see that ship and the people inside of it and potentially identify people?
Oops. That was supposed to be the new guy. It didn't work. That's okay, it's not super secret.
I keep calling it the wrong name, but that's fine.
Keeps calling it the
I mean,
bandit,
we did
damn
that
it!
with the Citadel class. We could do that with the Citadel class ship, and that just is what its name was now.
It's not called that.
It is now.
Yeah, I might change
I
the lore.
pretend I do not see it.
So does Lacey want to do that?
So I give minuses for attempting to psychically connect with Hypoish, right?
Cycling connecting with a high post is ill-advised at the best of times. Because
What?
cycling connecting with high post is ill-advised generally, because
Yeah.
he is a Solis and they are
I just
innately
think it's
resistant.
the only way I can really talk to Hypoish without anyone knowing what the hell's happening.
Right.
So
I mean,
You could try. It's a -2.
yeah, I know. This means it's a -1, and the way I've been rolling tonight.
he's pretty much he is. I'm trying to put it out as generally as possible. Like, oh man, wish we could see what's going on that ship. Get some intel on that.
Winky.
I bet it would be interesting.
And then Will
Right,
goes,
Will?
What'd you say, Winky?
Oh, it's slang on my planet. Have you not heard this before? It means shucks.
That was not Wheel's voice, but I can't do it. I'm not feeling well.
Okay.
So you want to try to
Is it like-
cyclically connect
Okay.
with Cyclones?
Here's the thing. Like, I know what Hypoish is asking. Like, at least he knows what Hypoish is asking. It's just I can't really do it. But I'll try anyway, so I can tell Hypoish that.
Why isn't this working? Did they change
It's
the
a
way...
/W.
Oh, it used to be at. They changed it?
There was an update.
I know, it ruined a lot of things.
I just like to remind you of the things you've lost.
Thank you.
I thought that was Vegas's job.
Why'd they change it? I liked the at.
That's technically a success, but I also just realized this should have been a -2. I think I only rolled a minus. No, wait, I rolled a -2, didn't I?
D6 is -2.
Okay, yeah, so I did roll it right. Haha. Yeah, no, it's a success for a average.
Okay.
No.
Come on. Daddy will come.
I missed that. You succeeded?
Yes, for an average success.
Okay, so you... That means you can, like, talk briefly, right?
I can up to no more than 10 words.
Okay. Now, because
Shut
you're... Even though you succeeded, you are interacting with the Salice. So it's like pressure on your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And any messages that Hypolis receive or sends this way, it's like you guys are talking through... you know those like...
Paper towel tube.
No, like through
Or the cups.
Yeah, one of those tubes at the playground that our kids play at, where you talk.
Oh, yeah, we talk
and
about
like,
it.
like
Yeah.
echoes through. That's what
Oh,
it
yeah.
sounds like.
Yeah. Love that.
I have a very clear audio impression of what that is now. Thank you.
Yep. Nailed it.
Okay, I got a 9-word message. I can't psychically view somewhere I have not been. That's all I say to Hypos. I'm imagining it's a very weird sensation for Hypos that someone's psychically speaking to him.
My hope is that at least he would sound relatively the same psychically as she would in kind of an audio format, but unless it's more of like an impression of the person. Oh, I don't want to spend too much time thinking about that.
Go play.
Mainly, I guess I'm a little bit confused because of the thing you did on that one station. Although we did get you optics on
Yes.
that. Okay, yeah, that's right. That is what we did. Well, it's not surprising that Hypewest would not understand the
Intricacies of
finer
psionic
points.
powers.
Yes. In fact, he will probably only get worse at it. You know, if he doesn't like die or something.
Razik, do you want to take Uncle Sanguilin's comm?
Yes.
Is he awake or is he still unconscious?
He's awake. And he'll offer it to you.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'll do anything with it yet, because I know if I do, there's going to be some very heavy repercussions. But I have the potential now.
I'm trying to, escalate things here. Cards on the table.
Well, that's a tough choice for Razik, because no matter how he does it, there's going to be some problems, some heavy problems. But
Okay, well, while you mull it over,
yes,
Irene and Sadat arrive on the observation deck. And Sadat says, and, Irene, this will actually be a surprise to you because you've been with him this whole time. He says, "All right, everybody, I just received word from our insider. We have the coordinates for the secret summit." And there's like a collective cheer or clapping, kind of disorganized celebration.
Razik looks directly into the camera.
And then starts pecking it. I'm in a mood.
Yeah, obviously.
He's had a lot of sugar from the bubbly drinks he's been drinking.
And it's not doing me any favors.
Why does everybody say I look like a chicken? I don't look like a chicken.
Okay.
Uh,
We need to do something. You said there was a console.
There's quite a few.
Well, just you meant there was like a display thing, like a table almost.
Here. Yeah, cool. Activate. Spaceships by 0 hour. Link below.
We love these maps.
Ping isn't working,
Yes.
but you see where my mouse is. Yeah.
Oh, okay, over here. Yeah.
Ping, why aren't you working?
Is it a new button? Is
Ah.
everything changed?
This is the update. I forgot to re-enable ping.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna try and, as discreetly as possible, gather information on kind of what's going on. Just we can't see outside of the ship. We've had very little ideas of like greater machinations of this whole organization since we've got here. Hypa West is not taking an action until the only action left is the correct one.
Okay.
Hey, welcome to being in this region.
Okay. Roll misdirection. +1 step.
Okay.
That doesn't
I'm-
look like a success to me.
It's just barely off. Well, it's not barely off success. Success would be 12. So it's not crazy low below it. But I think I am gonna spend the hero point just because the only thing I can get right now is information. That's the only thing I can do is intel.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend a hero point to turn it into an average.
Alright, using the distraction of the celebration, you're able to make your way over to the console and access it. Discreetly.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay. You see positional data of where you're at, and you see several, about a dozen spaceships in the solar system that the brigand is tracking. You also see that the brigand is receiving telemetry from about a dozen listening satellites, strategically placed around the system that are transmitting all this information from the brigand. Obviously, the Common Revolution is also prepared.
So I've got. It's hard because we don't have like a map of this particular system. So I know our location.
Right. So there's about
Can I-
5 planets. The populated one is the 4th planet, well, a moon of the 4th planet. And there's no asteroid belt. Well, there's kind of like a debris field around the 4th planet of the moon that got broken up. But that would look more like a ring than an asteroid belt. I don't know why I brought it up.
Yeah. I mean, so can I tell our sort of like trajectory, as it were? I am a pilot, so like I'm trying to intuit where we're headed. If I can like kind of make a educated guess on.
Yeah, it
what
looks
it
like you guys
likely is to
have
be.
just changed course and are headed for the first planet,
The first planet.
the closest planet to
does
the
it-
sun.
Does that one have a name?
No, it would just be called Haiku 1.
Haiku one.
Yeah, not Haiku.
Haku.
Haku 1.
Haku one. I'm gonna type that in this chat for a second.
Is the one in charge of this room Wheel right now?
Well, Sadat's here, so whichever room Sadat's in, he's in charge.
Sadat's actually in the room right now?
Yeah, he just came in with an Irene. The only one who's not here is
Oh.
Razik.
Yep.
Oh, I'm over by this anyway. So we're headed towards
God damn it.
Vegas just said it's it's Haku 1 as opposed to Haiku 5, Haiku 7, and Haiku 5. It's a bad joke. So,
But I got it.
I know I'm just here to roast Jakin on live stream. Or not Jakin, Vegas on live stream. I roast Jakin at any point in the day.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter if we're live streaming.
It doesn't have to be perceived. So yeah, that's probably all I'm gonna get out of this map, especially with an average.
So that misdirect check that Hypoist made.
Can you
What's that opposed by?
Awareness.
Irene would like to roll awareness on that.
Go for it.
Awareness.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you beat it.
It's an average. It's an average.
But you rolled higher,
Okay.
so that means you won. So
Okay.
yeah, you see Hypoist over at the console piddling.
Irene's gonna be like, "What are you?
Just looking.
What are you doing?"
Oh, I was checking out these maps. Look, I think we've changed course. So I guess
shit.
we've
Changed course.
Yeah, look. I would guess, and this is just kind of my impulse as like from flying the Involucre all over space. I would guess we're heading here, but maybe there's a smaller moon I haven't considered. But that might be the planet. Maybe we should look into what the environment is like there.
Yeah, I agree, Captain. If that is the planet that we're headed to, we should probably get some more information on it.
That
real,
turns some
real loud.
Yeah, that turns some heads.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I wonder if maybe that's something I can do that would be helpful.
We don't really need to worry about the planet. Where we're going is just as we gathered, a secluded stealth space station in orbit of the planet. We're not touching down.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's gonna be hot, so swimwear. And then there's a laugh around the lounge.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find something to do with this bum leg.
I appreciate your initiative. And then we cut back to the medical bay.
Screwdriver pokes Hypoist's
Yep.
leg.
And new guy, Hypoist hears, "Identify yourself," through the comm, which he activated in secret from all of you.
Yep.
Who hears that? I hear that?
No,
Or
And I probably
Rizik
do
does.
too.
Just Rizik.
Oh, okay.
Did I say
Oh,
Hypoist?
just me?
I fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
Okay.
meant Rizik. Rizik
Okay,
hears.
yeah.
Who? Identify yourself.
A benefactor.
This is a secure channel. You're gonna need to do better than that.
I have information that dignitaries of the Fair Star oligarchy could be in danger.
We're listening.
Will you be doing me a favor in exchange for this information?
Well, what do I call you? Benefactor?
Yes, for now that will suffice.
Alright. It depends. If we can verify this information, then the Fair Star oligarchy might be indebted to you.
You may not be able to verify this information in a timely fashion.
That's convenient.
The favor I'm requesting is for you to transfer the information I'm about to provide to you to the Crest League dignitaries.
Well, let's hear it, and then we'll decide.
The summit is in peril.
Is that it?
There is a group of individuals that want to see the summit interrupted and possibly see dignitaries killed.
I don't know who you are or how you got this line, but there are a lot of people invested in getting this summit off the ground, and even more people trying to mess it up. I need actionable, verifiable, credible intelligence about threats, and then the Fairstar oligarchy will disseminate it as needed or deal with it if they can. A vague, you are under threat, is not good enough. So you need to get it straight, or this conversation is over.
I am Razik Gorizan, on board of the Brigand of the Common Revolution.
Reserve.
And then that's gonna be fade to black executive producer.
No, fuck you.
I was trying really hard to push through everyone viewing. I really didn't want to cancel 2 weeks in a row, especially because I wanted to, shill for Extra Life. But I am feeling just awful. Every sip of these drinks that are really helping my sore throat are making me more and more nauseous. So
La Basura?
Yeah. So I would like to. We're gonna call it a night with a half session. I'm glad we got to some kind of climax. I was afraid it was just gonna be you guys talking for 2 hours.
That's a cliffhanger and a half.
We will be playing next week, and the Extra Life donations will continue throughout the Dire Wolves stream. So
they should actually continue through the end of the year. It's just the fundraising day is on.
What I meant by that is I will still be talking about it, but after next weekend I won't be. But the links will still be there if you want to follow them. The actual stuff for my channel will appear throughout the week as I get them. So, if you guys tune in on Saturday, that'll all be there if you guys are interested in joining us. And if you're just here for Dire Roll Lost Horizon, we will be back next week with a full session.
Crossing fingers.
And a Dungeon Master.
No promises. He and I won't be a little tired though.
That's true. We hope you guys had a great time with us.
It's fine.
And we hope you guys have a great night, a great week, and I hope to see y'all Saturday, but at the very least, I hope to see you Sunday. So that's all for us. Good night.